Hey guys, today, remember this one? If you didn't watch the video about this, or you don't remember this is 4070 that catch on fire. And today I will try to use the core and the memory from this card, maybe some resistors and capacitors, who knows, and turn it into a good 4070. What I got is this PCB. Came from China. This is pretty rare to be able to buy one of those, so it was kind of an expensive site, mostly because all the postage cost. But yeah, I was lucky enough to get this one. We will take a closer look at it under the microscope and see what it needs. I have the original memory from the damaged card right here. 6 memories, all reballed and ready to be put on that, as well as the core itself. I keep it in the ESD safe package. So that's the core. It's very clean. I reballed it as well, so we need to fit that. And the last piece of the puzzle is, of course, the heatsink. Okay, there is the heatsink. As you can see, it's a gigabyte, as is this board. This is gigabyte. The issue I have is that this is a different 4070 that this heatsink is. Couldn't find a match, and this was donated to me by Joshi Repair from United Kingdom. Thank you very much, good sir. So the thing is, from all the pictures I seen, pictures of the boards, this card and this card were very similar, if not identical. So the hope is that it will fit. I don't think I have the IO shield. This is one thing that I am missing. So that's unfortunate, but you know, it is what it is. IO shield doesn't come with either the board or the heatsink. So I'm still looking for that, but as it is, without the IO shield, should be fine for now. So let's start assessing this board and see what we can do with it. Will it work even? Why the core and the memories were taken out of it? No idea. There had to be a reason for that. The core was taken out, so we need to check those caps if anything is moved. Yes, there is. Oh my god. Oh, Jesus Christ. Alright. This is something I'll need to... Jeez, and there's a resistor there as well. Hope it's in the right place. Yeah, but there is plenty of components missing. You see tombstone cap as well, right there. So that is something that needs to be. There is no way I'm putting any power to this board until this is handled. That sucks, because I'll need to go find a board view, which for gigabyte shouldn't be that difficult. Yeah, so we have this problem. I think this is PWM. Yeah, UP cheap, but it's gigabyte, so that's expected. Right, let's take a look at the pads. This seems like it wasn't populated. As well as this. This was definitely populated because we can see signs of stuff being taken out of here. Right, so we have a piece of solder there, right here. Probably something missing here, probably here. Some of them, this doesn't seem like it was populated. Yeah, this one has all the caps on it. Right, so let's go on. This resistor is very important. We are missing pads here and here. This capacitor is moving. Missing pad here. Yeah, so it's not the best. Well, another pad missing here, but I think most of them, if not all of them, are not connect. Not sure about this one. I think this was connected. That's probably just oxidation. I don't think this is missing pad. Yeah, I think the pad is there. Again, I think this one is having all the capacitors in place, and this resistor, which again is probably very important. Okay, so let's check quickly the pads under the core. We have some work cut out for us. Okay, another oxidation or missing pad. Yeah, I think, yeah, it's oxidized. So I'll need to clean all that, of course. Okay, I'm on to something. So I'll show you. This looks better. There's a lot of missing caps in this area, right? There's 2 big caps there missing and 3 here as well. I found the board view, so I'm fine. Although we move to the crispy one and look at it, we have exactly the same pattern. It's like 2A capacitor. It's exactly the same. So I now know that these 3 resistors are the only resistors there. Board view says there may be optional resistors right there, but it's not populated here, and I don't believe it was populated there. So I have a board view and I have a donor. These 4, where are they? These 4 caps I found, and I don't believe they were in the right place. So I took them entirely off. But now I'll transplant the rest of the caps from there to there. What sucks is that I don't have any more of these boards, and if one just flies away, which is normal, then I don't get a second chance. Oh well, it is what it is. I'm working on it. I'm in the process now of rebuilding this. Let me show you. So this is all done. We are under the core right now. So this and this shouldn't be populated. As you can see, the caps are different color. So these are from the card that was on fire. These 2 are not populated on either one. This one aren't populated on the other card, but I leave them be. So you can see this was transplanted, all those 4, this one, and all bunch of these, as was this. So yeah, under the core situation is good. Now there was some missing caps under this memory chip, so this one for sure, this one, so that's fitted. Next we have PCI lanes. So I think this one is wrong cap, it's a wrong cap, so I'll need to redo this one. But what I found as well is this, which is not funny because we are missing a pad here. So this lane is an 8th pair, I think. So I need to make a new pad for the cap in right here. I have a little bit of update. So I've cleaned the core and not the core, the place where the core goes, and it looks very nice. Started working on the memory side of things, any missing components around the memory. So the first one looks great, a lot of oxidation here, but it all cleaned up. Second also looks good now. We have a missing pad. You can see it right here, but it's a no connect pad, so we are fine. The issues go here first. So I have all the, well, this is crooked, but it's connected. We're missing two important pads because this is pin 1 here, so this one is not connect, this one is not connect, but this is a control pin. I think it's going to this via, so from here to there. So without this pin, this bank will not work. And similar here, we have this pin, which is a data pin. So this bank will also not work, at least not correctly, right? I think everything is done. You know, it's hard to tell. At least stuff that I could see, all the caps, resistors, the pads are, yeah, it won't focus. The pads are like there, you can see the solder mask. All is cleaned. The backside issues as well. So that's how the undercore looks like. I'm still thinking of these caps because this card was overheated by the Chinese guy. So this is handled, the missing track and the pad rather, and the cap, and these two caps, they have a different color because they come from the fried one. But yeah, it all measures fine, so I think it is time to connect it to that contraption. I don't have the fancy power supplies for GPUs like the professionals have, like you can see on some of the GPU repair channels. I just don't. So it will go straight to a 1000 watt Superflower PSU. So if it explodes, right? There is nothing more I can do with it. Yeah, I don't think I can. I can't check every single component on it. It's like not viable. So yeah, let's try it. Okay, connected the bastard. I have my multimeter here and it's attached to there. So if it doesn't explode, we may be able to measure some resistances maybe. Okay, power on. Nothing exploded. Right here. Let's see if we can measure some voltages on it then. So, news is that we have the 1.2 here. We have no V-core in here. We have no pegs on this coil Of course, no memory on any of those three. All the 5s, all the 12s, 3.3 is there. So this generates power good signal. So first I thought it will, because from here it goes to a resistor, it goes to some resistors, gates, and feds in here. But when I've tried to measure around here, I got burned. So something here is getting incredibly hot. I rechecked for resistances on the main power rails, they're all good. So it was so hot, in fact, that even this area where normally the core sits got hot. So it spread the heat across the PCB. So I need to use this guy now and see what exactly is going on. But I think this driver here for Vico, it's what's getting so hot. So looks like what is getting hot is all the coils here. And I just asked a colleague from on Discord about his opinion about the thermal image. I'll show you thermal images on the screen. 60 degrees. So I expect this to be either an issue with driver. Remember, this PCB was cooked by the Chinese guy, so the driver is on the bottom. Of course, it could be damaged. Any of those caps can be damaged. These three I have my reservations about as well. So I think I'll start with taking those three out and connect it again and see if it goes back to this high temperature. Because, 60 degrees on the coil is not great. Yeah, let's do that. Okay, so I replaced the capacitors, but it's not better, it's different. This gets as hot as it was, so that didn't change. I have voltage now on here, and that's 4.3 volts, which these caps or the caps under there are not rated for. So I immediately shut it down. So my guess is either we are missing some feedback, there's problem with an VDD feedback, or straight out the driver that sits on the other side of the board right here is cooked. One of the two. I was looking around the chip that drives Vico. Can't see any components missing there, so it's quite a mystery still. But I also spotted I don't have a BIOS chip on it. Good thing I have the stuff from the fried graphics card, and there is a BIOS chip. It's not the correct BIOS for it, so I will solder it here and use the programmer to program the BIOS that should be for this specific PCB, so I can do something while thinking about this Vico stuff in the meantime. So there it is, repurposed from the other card, and it even programmed and verified. So on to the next thing. Okay, I have a solution. I asked, and it turns out the secondary feedback lines for the Vico were not populated on this card. Then I checked if the memory is there, and it's there. So we can now safely power it on, and we have our BIOS as well, which doesn't play any role right now, don't get me wrong, but I'm just happy this board is more complete with each passing hour than it was before. So power on. Okay. I need to sit you on this so I can read the voltages. Power on. And let's start with this coil. That's 1.35, that's memory. That is core, 0.76. And that is specs. So yeah, I think we are fine and nothing is getting hot on the card anymore, which is brilliant news. What we will do now is we will solder the core on it. I will just solder the core on first, and then we'll cool it down, measure everything, maybe try to run it, see if it's even recognized in the system. And if I'm happy with that, then we will do the memory. So the card is cold-ish. So let's do a quick measurements. If we were successful, 12 volts. Let's do all of them. Fine, 3.3. Fine, 1.2. Fine. Memory. Fine. This, whatever this is, fine. Specs, fine. No matter what I do, it just won't boot up. I'm thinking I'll try it in another rig, then we'll see. There's always a reflow option. If not, well, don't like to think. Okay, Intel system. Will it behave any differently this time? Oh, so far not good. Yes, it does something. Right. I think we are in the clear. At least it's recognized. Yeah, of course it will be code 43. The core may live. Nice. Let's solder the memory, and also why this guy is not working. Probably something in the vicinity of the circuitry for fans, because this will be fan 1. They are like both connected, and that is fan 2. So the other connector probably doesn't receive power or something. That will need to be checked as well, but that's secondary stuff. We want to see if the memory and the core survived the fire, right? So core is here, right? It's detected, and that's all we know for now. So let's get to let's get to work. I mean, me. Well, I was gonna record the happy test passing maybe video clip, but no. As you can see, one memory is gone from here, and it's this guy, and unfortunately this one is shorted. So this brings the entire Vmem rail almost to ground. Is it's 0.4 ohms between ground and the power rail on this guy. So, and I don't have them. Yeah, unfortunately This will not be happy ending, but maybe we can connect what we have and see what we get with testing software at least. Right guys, it's the next day and I've learned some stuff yesterday and this morning. So this is not 4070 PCB, in fact it's a 4070 Ti PCB, and yeah, and also it's dual BIOS. So not only the Chinese guy sold me the wrong PCB, they took both BIOSes out and the switch was still there, so it was trying to read a BIOS that was and is not there. So now I switch it this side to the left and it reads my BIOS chip. So there is a chance me may be able to run some diagnostic software on it now. So there we have it. That's just mods. Found the GPU. GPU, yeah, it didn't complete, but it's not due to invalid fsconfig, is because the training status, because we are missing memory. Okay, fair enough. I know some of you professional guys will be cringing about it. So I got the wrong PCB, but it was stated that it's 4070, not 4070 Ti. It was crap, missing capacitors, missing resistors, missing BIOS chips. Yeah, one fan doesn't work, and I've tried oscilloscope and seeing what's there. There is no PWM on it. Because this is different, like this PCB, there are connectors for fans with RGB, and these are normally not populated even. So I don't know, it's like a hybrid. I've changed the caps, you can see they are nice and black, because the other ones were, I don't know, I just didn't trust them. The board was overheated, and now we have problem because we don't have a memory module, and the other one does not pass the training. So I don't know if it's any good, but I decided to buy the memory. So for you, that will be a second, but I will get back to this card when the parts arrive. As well, because it's not the board that was promised, this heatsink doesn't really fit. So the board is, you see, it's kind of straight, but it's not really straight. But if I add the missing screws here and here, and the missing screws right there, it totally bends. So now it has a pallid BIOS, which is one here because I added this, and another BIOS from Gigabyte, because one BIOS fits the the core, the other BIOS fits the, well, not this PCB, but other 4070 gigabyte PCB, so it's not even that. Yeah, so far so good. Stay tuned. Okay guys, an update. It's a few weeks later. I don't really had any luck sourcing the memory for it, but I sourced one chip. I soldered it on today, and yeah, and now there's no training error on this channel. So we have B and C working, but there is still an error on A0. So I took the chip out, started measuring the pads, and the one that you see, it's kind of scratched, like right there. I scratched it because I wanted to measure on the via node on the pad. So I was getting OL, and this goes somewhere here, and there is a pad you can see. Let's go under the microscope and I show you. Yeah, so basically you see now that pad there with no solder. It's the only one, and it didn't take solder. No, I've cleaned it up. I scratch it a bit with my like tweezers, and it still does not like to take solder. And I measured it, and it's exactly the one that was giving me OL. So one stupid pad, and I had to reball the core again and prepare the PCB again, and the memory chip, of course. Yeah, so it's totally unfortunate, but I need to work it out until like I will scratch it and then apply like flux. I will apply flux, try to solder again and again and again until it takes solder, and only at this point I can clean the PCB and rebuild the core. Okay, so the core is now cooling down and it's ready pretty much. Then I have the A0 bank also reballed. Let's solder all that again. So there we have it again, all soldered in. We have all the memory this time, and yeah, let me clean that up a bit. Not completely, because I don't know if I'm finished with this one, but yeah, let me clean that up and we can test it. Right, it was somewhat clean. I think I found an IO shield for it, which is this. I'm not sure. I'm not even sure what the bloody PCB is. Well, you know, I have something and I got it with screws, which is nice. This is for another thing. Maybe I'll do a quick video on this as well. 4080. So if we try to do this, do we line up? Yes, we do. Cool. So I can mount the AI shield and then see if the heatsink now fits, because the heatsink is from totally different card as well, right? You may be asking why I'm mounting the IO shield if I don't even know if the card is working. Well, I don't. I don't know. I measured it after the soldering, of course, and there are no shorts I can see. So that gives me hope, and that's all I'm going on about here, just to have hope for this card to work again. It's the entire theme, really. As you can see, the IO shield is working with this heatsink, but the heatsink has some problems. There will be some modifications needed, I feel like, to this to really fit it well if the card ever works and, you know, it's gonna be used. Another thing is this fan is not spinning because how the connectors are configured. So one of these two is not connected to anything. Instead, there are connectors back here for fans and RGB, which this heatsink don't have, obviously. So I will need to jump. There are resistors that I can configure, like so. There are small resistors that will jump one of these to the missing connector. But you know, that's just a small thing, and if it ever works as well, right? But you can see like the PCB is going down, 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 down. Something there is conflicting. Not sure what. Okay, here I have it, and I wasn't expecting it to, but yeah, it booted to my mods test and the maths passed. Right, now I need to get a display out of this card. Okay, yes. We have a picture. Let's wait for Windows. Right, I need to wait because it's checking the drives. This Windows has a big problem with itself. Let's try to run like where's my mouse? Let's try to run something which will take a moment because this Windows. So we have 4070. We have 12 gigs of RAM on Micron. Everything checks out. Let's see PCIe. Yeah, works. It's a PCIe 3 platform, pretty old. But yeah, probably will overheat quite soon. There is almost no thermal paste at all. So I won't be stressing it too much. Okay guys, so yeah, we did it. The card is back alive. That needs the fan cleaning, like very good cleaning. I'll try and mount the backplate as well, see what is going on with the bend, slight bend there. Yeah, but that's just a cosmetic stuff. So again, yeah, that's a success. Thank you, Ness, for the donation of the card. Thank you to many guys that helped me with sourcing parts as well. And yeah, I'll see you on the next video. Bye guys.